My screen is visible?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So, good afternoon and everyone, and welcome to here. I am Ankit from Test Automation Studio, presenting a knowledge on accelerating test with Cypress for a leaderboard platform. Okay. So, before starting, yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Could you please just click on slideshow?
Uh, yes. Yes. Yes, Gaurav.
Yep, just go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. So, first, let's discuss the knowledge etiquettes. First, punctuality. Join the session 5 minutes prior to the session starting. We start on time and conclude on time. And second is silent mode. Keep your mobile devices in silent mode. Feel free to move out of session in case of you need to attend an urgent call. And third is feedback. Make sure to submit constructive feedback for all sessions as it is very helpful for the presenter. And avoid disturbance. Avoid unwanted chit chat during the session. So, so our agenda is to first is introduction to leaderboard platform, performance monitoring system. Okay. And second is challenges of testing in leaderboard platform. Third is role of different testing in leaderboard platform. Fourth is case study leaderboard platform, and fifth is test automation framework design, and the last one is demo. So let's start. So first of all, introduction to leaderboard platform. So what is leaderboard platform? So the leaderboard platform is a vision to encourage employees to upskill themselves. The idea is highly inspired by one of Nolde's core values. Okay, so it has a system where each of the employees rewarded when with points on the basis of their contributions via blogs, tech hub templates, and knowledge sharing sessions like knowledge. Okay, yes. So what's the challenges in leaderboard platform? Okay, so first challenge that we are facing like high regression time, and second is third party integration, third is tight deadlines, and fourth is compatibility. Okay, so in the next slide we will discuss in brief. Um, okay, so let's discuss with high regression time. So in leaderboard, there are a lot of components, and these are interrelated. So the change in one part can affect the other component. So there is a high chance of application being regressed. Uh, and the second is just a minute. So let's discuss about it. Like, what is regression testing? Okay, so the regression testing is the testing existing software application to make sure that the changes or additions hasn't broken any existing functionality. I have already discussed it. So let's start with how it is a challenge for us. Okay, so as we all know that we are refactoring the whole leaderboard platform now, and there are so many deployments happen on daily basis. When any developer deployed something on staging or production environment, so we need to check the whole module with that particular function. Okay, included with the particular function. For example, uh, we have a knowledge module. Okay, and there are so many features in it. So if we deploy or update any particular feature on it, so we need to check or test the whole functionality of knowledge module. Okay, so let's move to the second one, uh, like frequent deployments. Okay, so in frequent deployments, like as I told, like we are refactoring it, so we are doing changes on daily basis. So our engineers are actively involved in it and improvising the platform. We are introducing new features rapidly that require frequent deployments. And okay, so let's move to the third one, like third party integration. So third party integration is an often difficult thing to test as we have limited information from these external services. Like third party integration is an attachment of an application programming interface from one application to another. So many developers use this integration to enable the product to perform the same function as the program it integrated. Okay, so in leaderboard we are using let's it's an example, like we are in leaderboard we are using SendGrid for sending emails. Okay, so without having to maintain email servers and the mails we all are receiving related to contribution feedback form are sent by using SendGrid. Okay, yes. So, and the fourth is compatibility. Okay, so compatibility, like lots of browsers and devices combination, it is important to ensure that we test our product on all major browsers and devices. Okay, so first of all, what is compatibility? So let's discuss it. A compatibility test is an assessment used to ensure a software application is properly working across browsers, database, operating system, okay, OS, mobile devices, okay, networks and hardware. Okay, so so our aim is to make a leaderboard browser and to make leaderboard platform uh, like to browser and device compatible. And with manual testing, this is very lengthy and time taking process. Even we need to test a single module on different browsers and devices, so it will take a whole day, or maybe we can't test it properly or complete it in given time. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So roles of different testing in leaderboard platform. Yeah. The first is functional testing. So functional testing is an important aspect of testing any software solution. It ensures that each functionality or component is functioning as per requirements of business. Okay. So and second is like the compatibility testing. Okay. So the leaderboard user has a liability to access the leaderboard platform from any device or any browser. To provide this compatibility, we as tester, we have to ensure that the application should be accessible for from a maximum number of devices and browsers uh, without degrading the user experience. Okay, and the third one is usability testing. So it is important to validate the platform is easy to access and interact with. Uh, it is important to ensure that the application is user friendly also and doesn't let users struggle with its feature. Okay, so first let's I'm briefing about functional testing. Okay, so it is a type of software testing which we use to verify the functionality of the software application. Okay, whether the function is working according to the requirements, specifications. Okay, each functional testing by giving the value and determining the output and verifying the actual output with the expected values. Okay, so it is performed as a black box testing. Okay, and which is presented to confirm that functionality of an application or system behaves as we are expecting. Okay, so what is the goals of functional testing? Okay, so the purpose of functional testing is to check the primary entry function, okay, necessarily usable function, the flow of the flow of like functional testing display the error messages so that the user can easily navigate throughout the application. Okay, and And what is the next question is like, what is the process of functional testing like? Okay, so we have some there are so a few steps of functional testings, like tester does verification testing of the requirement specifications in the software application, and after analyzes the requirement as a specification, a tester will make a plan. Okay, after planning, the tester will design the test cases, and after designing the test cases, tester making a document of traceability metrics, like, okay. And the after these steps, we move to the executing our test cases. Okay, so this is the flow. Okay. So there are uh, 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 there are there are four objectives of functional testing. Like, first is basic usability, accessibility, mainline function, and error conditions. Okay. Okay, so let's move to the compatibility testing. Like, what is compatibility testing, first of all? Okay, so it is a part of non-functional testing, and uh, in which we are checking the functionality of an application on different softwares, hardware. Okay, and why we are there is a one more question, like why we are using compatibility testing. Okay, so first of all, once the application is stable, we move to the production. So it may be used for access by multiple users on the different platforms, and they may face some compatibility issues. To avoid these kind of issues, we do one round of compatibility testing. Okay. Okay, so when should we perform compatibility testing? Okay, so generally we go to the compatibility testing only when the application or software is functionally stable. Okay, so there are also four type of compatibility testings. First is software, hardware, network, and mobile. Okay, and the third one is like usability testing. So it is also known as user experience testing. Okay, so in this testing method, we are measuring how easy and user friendly a software application is. Okay, a small set of target and user uh, use a software application to expose usability defects. Okay, so in the usability testing, mainly focus on users case of using application. Okay, and flexibility of application to handle controls, and ability of application to meet its objectives. Okay, so in it, the testing is recommended during the uh, initial stage, like design on in design phase, like SDLC. We all know about it, like software development life cycle. Okay, so which gives more visibility on the expectations of the user. Okay, so there is a scenario that I'm discussing. There are many software applications, websites which are failing once launched due to some reasons, like where do we click, okay, which page need to be navigated, which icons or jargons represent what, and errors messages. Okay, so usability testing identifies usability errors in the system and in the development cycle, and can save the product from failure. Okay, so there are five phases of usability testing. First is planning, recruiting, and usability testing. Third is data analyze. Fourth is data analyze, and fifth one is reporting. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about functional testing in leaderboard platform. Like first is web UI testing. Okay, so web UI testing is a process of testing the web UI elements of the software with which a user will interact. Okay, this means uh, ensuring that the functionality and performance criteria of the web application are the quality, utmost quality. It also focus on the user experience also. Okay, and the second is API testing. So API testing is like a application programming interface. Okay. So API testing from the backend is a process in which we check the functionality, reliability, performance, and the security of the API. It mainly concentrates on the core functionality of software architecture. Okay, so first let's discuss about web UI testing. Uh, web UI testing is a mechanism of testing the aspects of any software a user will interact with. This means putting the visual elements to the test to ensure that they meet the functionality and performance criteria. Okay. In web UI testing, uh, yes, we can't say it like bug free, but yes, to try to guarantee that our functions are bug free. Like we can't guarantee of it, like we can't make any application bug free, but we are trying to our focus is on that. Okay, so like web elements are produced using CSS, JavaScript, and the variety of the other programming languages. Okay, to validate their efficiency, UI testing conducts the tests and the assertions on these aspects. It focuses on the software creative and structural elements rather than the software core logic. Okay, so UI testing cover all the visual indicators and graphic-based icons such as toolbar, fonts, menus, colors, etc. It aims to test the website visual design, functionality, performance, and usability and compliance with the with other devices. Like yes. So next is API testing. So in API testing, like uh, it's a software testing type that validates application uh, program interface. Like a process of API testing is to check. Okay, I have already explained it. Like in API testing, instead of using standard user input and outputs, uh, you use like we use the software to send calls to the API, get output, and note down the system response. Like API tests are very difficult from GUI test, and they won't concentrate on the look and the feel of the application. It mainly concentrate on the business logic layers of the software architecture. Okay, from in API, API is a uh, uh, that enables communication and data exchange between uh, two separate software systems. A software system that execute an API includes several functions, subroutines, and that other that another software system can perform. Like API defines request can be made, how to make request, data formats that can be used like between two software systems. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, like non-functional testing in leaderboard. So like in leaderboard, we are planning to our future plan is to perform performance testing also. So the for performance testing is a part of non-functional testing. So let's discuss about it. Like, what is performance testing? So through performance testing, we evaluating that how a system perform in different scenarios. Like it should be stable or responsive under the workload. Okay, so it ensures the security and safety. Okay, we will discuss in brief after uh, discussing usability testing. Okay, so analyze the response time. Okay, workload efficiency and application output. Okay, so, in performance testing, the software testing process under the testing speed, response time, stability, reliability, scalability, and resources uses of a software application under the particular workload. Okay. The main purpose of performance testing is to identify and eliminate the performance bottlenecks in the software application. Okay. The focus of performance testing is checking a software program, speed, scalability, and stability. Okay, so the question is why we do performance testing? Like so, uh, the features and functionality supported by any software system are not the only concern. Okay, so the software application performance, its response time, reliability, resource usage, and scalability do matter. Like so, the goal is to perform testing is not to find bugs, but it eliminates the performance. Okay, so uh, it is done to provide a stakeholder with information about their application regarding speed and stability and scalability. More important, performance testing covers what we need to improve. Okay, but before the product goes to market, without performance testing, the software is likely to suffer from issues like running slow while several users using it simultaneously. Okay, so it inconsistencies across different operating systems and poor usability. Okay, so it determine whether their software meets uh, uh, all the like aspects like required requirements under expected workloads. Okay, when applications sent to the market with poor performance metrics due to non-existence of poor performance, okay, testing are likely to gain a bad reputation uh, or to fail to meet expected sales goals. Like yes, so we have five types of performance testing. Okay, the first one is load testing. ठीक है? So in load testing, we check the application's ability to perform under anticipated user loads. The objective is to identify performance before the software application goes live. Okay, and the second one is stress testing. It involves testing an application under extreme workloads to see how it handles high traffic or data processing. The objective is to identify the breaking point of an application. Okay, and the third one is endurance testing. It is done to make sure that software can handle the expected load over a long period of time. And the fourth one is like test the software spike testing. Okay, in which the software reactions to sudden large spike in the load generated by users. Okay, the, and the fifth one is like volume testing. Under volume testing, in the we are doing like volume testing. A large number of data is populated in database, and the overall uh, software system behavior is monitored. The objective is to check software applications performance under varying database volumes. Okay, and so let's move to usability testing. Like, what is usability testing? So through usability testing, if we make sure that the end product is user friendly and easy to use. In other words, it's all about user satisfaction. So there are 4 points under the usability testing. First is functional and efficient. Second, zero usability issues. Third one is don't defer the functionalities. And fourth one is user interaction. Okay. So in usability testing, uh, like uh, it's a method of measuring how easy and user friendly a software application is. Okay, so like I have already discussed in my previous slide, so I think we should move to the next slide. Okay, so now the case study of leaderboard. Like, what is the vision of leaderboard? Like, so the vision is the leaderboard try to give engineers cues to keep improving on a daily basis and motivated every engineer to do better than what they are doing right now. So, like we have already discussed in the our first slide, like we are following our some um, core values. Okay, so vision is uh, uh, to improving it day by day, and like, what is future state? So our future state is we are working on commercial version of leaderboard. Okay, and that can be presented to potential clients. Okay, the leaderboard can be modular and can be modified according to the requirements. Okay, and what is the challenge we are facing? Like, so our challenge is to build a generic platform performance metric system that can be modulated on the basis of tenants requirement. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So what is the challenges that we are facing? Okay, so like, first is less designs. So in less designs and prototypes, we have built this application from the scratch, like, okay, because we are refactoring it. So there were constant improvements in the design and methodologies. As a tester, while exploring the application and working on the test designs, it was quite complicated to accommodate these changes. Okay, so, like, higher regression time, I have already discussed about it. Okay, and third one is like multiple components. So in it, like, there are numerous components in the application, and these components are dependent on one another. Okay, so there are a lot of factors that need to considered while testing these components. Okay, so we have to validate that each component is working fine, and the modification of the component is not affecting the other. Okay, and like, third party integration, we have already discussed in the first in the starting, like the challenges. Okay, so let's move to the fifth one, like implementation of test harness. Okay, so test harness can be determined as the collection of tools and drivers and steps that are required to automate the test cases. Like, leaderboard earlier do not have any automated testing process, but we are dependent more on more on manual test executions. Okay, and yes, sorry, we have already discussed about frequent deployment. So so on daily basis there are so many deployments happening. So yes, this is the one of the challenges. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Yes, so tool selection criterias. Okay, so this is the diagram that I have mentioned, like fast test design and execution, and less learning curves, end-to-end testing tools, and CI integration, cross-browser compatibility, and reporting. Okay, so mm, and these are also challenges for us. So let's discuss about faster test design and execution. Like we need to test a tool that can design the test cases in a lesser time and can be readily executed. Okay, so this will aid in faster regression. Okay, and the second one is less learning curves. So we need a tool that is easy to learn, and we can design the test case as soon as we get the small insights of the tool. Okay. The third one is end-to-end testing tool, like for front end and back end. Okay. Yes, in in this, like we need something that can accommodate both front end back end test and back end testing. One single tool can cover up the web UI testing and can also validate the API responses under various conditions. Okay. And the third one is uh, CI integration. Okay, so in CI integration, uh, another uh, like we need a test tool that can be integrated with CI pipeline and can be executed whenever there is any change in the future. Okay, the fourth one is like cross browser compatibility. Okay, so with like in this factor, uh, we look for a tool that can execute our test cases on various browsers. Okay, to validate that our application behaviors is not affected on the a different browser environment. Okay. The fifth one is end-to-end testing. We need a tool right now in Leaderboard project we are using Cypress. Okay, and we are currently using it for front-end testing, like for end-to-end testing of front-end. Okay, so we are using Cypress right now. Okay, and the last one is like for reporting. Okay, so in reporting, we need a tool that can also have a reporting compatibility to present the execution results. Okay, so this will let us determine if the application is working as per the execution or not. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Solution implementing automated test harness with Cypress. Um as we discussed, we are implementing automation in the Leaderboard project right now. So we are using we are using Cypress as a test automation tool. Okay, so we find Cypress as a solution. It is. We can use it to we can use it to test end-to-end testing, and it is with Cypress we can do end-to-end testing, and this is also end-to-end testing framework which designed to test modern web applications. So yes, uh, it is very useful for us. Okay, so Cypress is consistent and trusted open source locally installed application and a dashboard service to record our test cases. Okay, so in Cypress, this is a first of all this is a open source tool. Okay, and you can easily install it, and it can also record your test cases also. Okay, you can see side by side your test cases while running them. Okay, so it is built on Node.js environment. Okay, it comes with an npm package. Okay, so uh, and the fourth one is like it interact directly with the browser to perform the automation design. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Cypress is a how Cypress is beneficial for our use case like Cypress is a front end end-to-end test framework, but it can also intercept HTTP requests and do HTTP requests. Okay, so and it is also a all-in-one test frame. Okay, so yes, like Cypress has inbuilt commands and method to drive the test cases. Okay, so I am also learning Cypress, so I feel it is very like it is easy to use. Like there are so many inbuilt commands and methods. So yes, it is very helpful for me also. Like yes. Cypress has integrated controls and methods for conducting test cases, and you don't need to download so many libraries to create automated tests. Like all you need is you just need to download a Cypress package. Okay, You, Cypress works well with a number of CI tools. Okay, so yes, and the last one is like Cypress test can run on the variety of browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, etc. But and there is a one disadvantage, it is not working on Safari. Okay, but you can run it on the other browsers. Yes. I'm wrapping up. Yes. So yes, our strategy is like web UI testing. Like we are using Cypress for this. Like for REST API testing, we are using Cypress and Postman. And for test management tool, we are using TestLink. We are recording our we are keeping all the manual test cases in TestLink. Okay, for performance testing, we are planning to use Lighthouse. Okay, and for continuous testing, we are using Jenkins. Okay, so this is the brief of we are using Postman, Jenkins, Lighthouse, and TestLink. So what is Postman? Postman is a API platform for building and using API for. We are using it for testing for backend testing. Like yes, okay. For Jenkins, it is a pure Java application and designed to load test functions, behaviors, and measure performance. And Lighthouse, it is also an open source automated tool for measuring the quality of web pages. Okay, for Tesla continuous integration and continuous delivery CI/CD platform that allows you to automate your field test and deployment pipelines. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Like for what is our framework? Okay, so this is our framework. Our test data is JSON. We are using JSON as a test data, and we are using Mocha reporters for our reports. Okay, we are using Cypress automation tool, and the unit framework is Chai, and we are using page object models in it. Okay, we have npm build tool plus JavaScript. Cypress is working on JavaScript, is based on JavaScript. So yes, uh, and the last one is like CI integration. So we are using Jenkins for it. Okay, so let's move to the demo part. I have already. Uh, I will run my test cases on on local. Okay, I have already created some test cases, and I am just trying to show you like how we are automating automation in the leaderboard project. So I am going to with the Hall of Fame page. There is a Hall of Fame page on leaderboard. So I am going to show you how I employee is how it's work for employee. Okay, we have three test cases in it. So let's see. Okay. This is our leaderboard platform. Yes, it is logged in. So like you can see a user able to view the list of Hall of Fame. Okay, so it is successfully completed. test cases has passed in it. Like this is for second test case. Okay, we are actually there is some issue with this API. We are working on it, and this is the third one. Like for employee, user should able to move the next page. Okay, actually there are so many modules, so we are continuously working on it. Okay, so I have selected few modules for this. I want to show it for studio head. Like we also have three test
Interrupt
cases.
again. Ankit,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but it's 4:15, so
Yes,
can
yes,
you
yes. I
please?
am just wrapping up. Just give me 2 minutes because I joined late. So sorry.
The other facilitator is also waiting, Ankit, so
Okay,
we
okay,
need
okay.
to wrap up.
So yes. So okay, I am wrapping up with this last test case. Okay. So like Hall of Fame. This is the Hall of Fame page, and our test cases is successfully passed. Okay. So I think there is no more time for question and answer. So sorry for that. I joined late, and thank you so much for joining this session. And you can connect me after this session and ask any question related to my knowledge.
But Ankit,
Uh,
it was a very nice session. Thanks for taking example of
okay,
leaderboard.
okay, yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Yep, thank you everyone. Thanks, guys.